Alright, alright. The silver chain is clearly enchanted, and the ends seem to snap and bite him at another like a Morris snakes. You may be able to use it in battle quite effectively. As you leave the shop, you call a thing to the chain maker for the chain, wishing his soul well. Oh yeah, I murdered that guy. The Festival of Thieves lies that way. There's the mansion. Kinda wanna go there. Actually, you know what? No, I want... Oh, no, I would like... Please don't... Oh, I have to redo all of it. Alright, it's fine. I remember. Search the room. Under the table. The left wall. Now the right wall. Look near the door. Look by the far door. Wait to see who comes. Help me out of here. You're a thief. Is the chainmaker here? Bribe him. I misclicked, man. Alright, it's fine. Search the left wall. Under the table. The right wall. Near the door to the shop. The far door. Wait to see who comes. Help me out of here. You're a thief. Is the chainmaker here? Bribe him. Net first. Slip out. Pay him 1 gold piece. Pay him. Wait for the chainmaker. Talk my way out of this. I don't remember what I said here. And then we do the perfectly normal thing, which is where we cause a fight with this guy, and then we just murder him. Look at it. Did I take the chain? Yes, I did. Okay. Maybe... I'm actually gonna go this way because I want to follow the guy who robbed us, potentially. You continue along the road. The land rises gently, a thin, meager scrub broken by rocky outcrops like teeth through an infant's gum. Goats roam the slopes, paranoid, shifty creatures who flee at the sound of your footsteps. Suddenly, you could be back in the fields outside Cristatanti. This part of the city port is barely habited, so should be safe enough to pass through quickly. Your stomach rumbles with hunger. Keep walking. I think we ate yesterday. You continue walking along the track and begin to hear the sound of a large crowd up ahead. There is some kind of market or fair happening further on near the river. You pass a dirt track on the left that leads away across the fields. Let's go to the crowd. Oh, come on. We're here for adventure. You continue along the road towards the noise. After a few minutes, you are walking between tall poles and rippling colored flags. People and creatures sprawl across the path, and several tents have been erected. Their poles joined together by more flags. Approach. You ease your way into the edge of the gathered crowd. It all looks good. It all looks good, spirited, and fun. And with so many people here, perhaps you'll pick up some useful information. Listen. You mill through the crowd, keeping your ears open for anything interesting, but most people in the center of the field are arguing over where to go next, or lamenting how many gold pieces they have spent. You might do better to have a closer look or something. The end of the midway. You walk to the south end of the fairground midway. A boy with a barrel stands off to one side, and a dull-looking tent stands near the river. There are more exciting stalls further north. Barrel boy. You approach a boy standing by a barrel and looking sheepish. What are you selling? You ask. The boy points to his barrel but doesn't answer. Look in the barrel. You peer in the barrel. It is full of small, hard apples. Most are blackened by disease or else are shot through with maggot holes. Your apples are all rotten, you remark. The boy shakes his head, then picks up one from the barrel. He squeezes it hard in his fist, but nothing happens. Then he drops it sharply into the bucket. Okay. Why don't you speak, you ask carefully. The boy shrugs, but doesn't seem to want to answer properly. How much is an apple, you ask, despite the fact that it's hard to imagine anyone paying for one. The boy holds up a single finger with one hand, and all 5 fingers are with the other. 6 gold pieces? One gold piece for 5 apples? The boy nods. Buy some? You hand over a gold piece, and the boy supplies you with 5 apples. In your hands, you feel that they are indeed not rotten. In fact, they are rock solid, hardened by some disease into stones. The boy bows his head in thanks, and then gestures behind him. A girl, possibly his sister, pops up from behind another barrel and pulls a face at you. What? Did I just buy rocks? I think I just bought rocks. Stick out my stone in return. You say the girl giggles and dodges down behind the barrel. The boy looks at you expectantly. The girl peeks up again. Is that your sister? You ask one of the girls working. The boy nods and takes an apple from his barrel and throws it across the field. The sister dodges quickly out of the way. I'm not throwing. I paid for this. Enough of this. You walk away. As you go, you try biting and almost crack one of your teeth. They are completely inedible. You toss all. Why would you throw them away? Just keep them. The fair spreads out all around you, a collection of booths and rings and tents and stalls. Hawkers announce the various attractions at the top of their lungs. The general atmosphere is cheerful, with just a hint of violence. You approach the small tent by the door. A young, elven woman is collecting the entrance fee. 1 gold piece, she declares, winking at you. What's inside? Marco the Amuser, she replies, still smiling and winking. Perhaps there's something wrong with her other eye. He's very funny. 1 gold piece. Sure. We're rich. You hand over 1 gold piece, and the elven woman steps aside. He gestures inside the low tent. Enter the tent. The inside of the tent is dark. There are no candles or lanterns, and the cloth is thick black velvet, preventing any sunlight leaking inside. In the center of the floor, a man with green hair is sitting cross-legged, his eyes closed. It's Joker! Look at the man. You look over the man, he seems ordinary enough except for his shock of bright green hair. He doesn't seem to notice you at all. There is a deep silence inside the tent. The business of the fair outside is quite forgotten. Approach. You step closer, expecting the man to leap up or react, or in fact, do anything, but he simply sits there as you approach to within arm's reach. From here it is clear his green hair is in fact a wig. What? Cast a spell? There is no way that Zap isn't... Okay, Zap. But what is this? Is it... What the fuck? You can just murder this guy for no reason! I gotta know. I'm rewinding. This is not something I'm actually doing. I have to know. What the fuck? You cast a spell, building a powerful electric charge in your hand. When you fling at the man, he disappears in a flash of smoke and dust, leaving nothing behind. With the hut now empty, you step back outside, not in the oven as you go. She wrinkles up her nose, smelling smoke. What? Look at the man. Approach. You reach out to pull off the man's wig, but he reacts like lightning, his hand snapping up to catch your wrist. That's my acting wonders, then releases your wrist once more. What do you mean? You ask, but he does not reply. Cast a spell? You slip on the cloth skull cap to cast a spell. With it on your head, you find the mind of the man in front of you, and your spies will find he is suppressing a gale of laughter. Something about this situation is very funny to him, it seems. What? You can just cast it again. Mud. Zap. I don't understand. I don't know the path. I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna leave. This is pointless and a clear waste of money. You step back outside, where the elven woman smiles at you. Did you enjoy? She asks. I didn't get it. Oh, really? She looks surprised. Didn't you notice his hair? It's not real. So? The elven woman looks disappointed. Oh well. She shrugs. Everyone's sense of humor is different, I suppose. Enjoy the rest of the festival. She waves at you as you leave. From across the field comes a murmur of excitement. Then quite suddenly, a small tornado lifts a tent sharply up into the air and away. You push your way through the crowds to the very heart of the fair and look around at the attractions on offer. Beer tent, dancing bear, the top was a midway. Let's just visit everything. We got a ton of money. Just by the river is a low tent. Surrounded by several stumbling figures, it could almost be a tent for dancing, except for the strong smell of a brewed grain that drifts over the air. In the small, a group of 3 half-goblin women are pouring mugs of beer and talking to the locals. A sign reads, 1 mug, 1 gold. 4 mugs, 6 gold. Smell the air. You pause to inhale the rich smell of brewed grains that hangs around the tent. It is quite nourishing. One of the bar women catches your smile. Nice, yes? Even nicer in a glass. A tall, spindly creature raises his voice to announce he is buying 4 mugs. A huge cheer goes up, but mostly from the women behind the bar. Talk to the bartender. You elbow your way to the bar and wave to attract the attention of one of the women. Greetings, she smiles. What can I do for you? What's on sale? I'll buy some beer. Why are 4 mugs so expensive? Why are 4 mugs so expensive, you ask? Isn't it cheaper to buy 4 separately? Oh no, the woman replies, smiling sweetly. It's a special offer, you see. 4 mugs for 6 gold pieces. But that's more than buying separately. Oh, the goblin lady replies, I see your mistake. It's a common one. We should fix the sign. But she doesn't explain. She quickly disappears to serve another customer. Just then, 2 creatures walk past. So you say he wasn't dead when they buried him, hisses the first? Not quite dead. Enough undead you could talk to him. Follow the conversation. You move away from the tent to listen to the creatures. Nobles, the first creature remarks. Why can't they just stay dead when they get dead? Couldn't agree more, the other replies, but at least they buried him anyway. One less noble for the boss to worry about. The creatures disappear into the crowd. A stocky? I just lost gold. A stocky dwarf knocks on you rudely, begging your pardon, he murmurs before slipping away into the crowd. No, I want to chase after the dwarf, he just robbed me, I saw my gold go down. Before slipping away into the crowd, you don't like the look of it, so you leave the crowd and walk away from the tent. Looking back, you notice a pipe running from the tent directly into the Jabaji River. It seems the beer isn't beer after all. From somewhere nearby, you catch a glimpse of a shadowy figure disappearing behind the tent. Something about the way it moves is familiar. Follow the figure. Duh. You push through the crowd, following the dark figure into a narrow gap. Cautiously, you enter the narrow space, and suddenly there is a hand at your throat. I will kill you, breathes a voice you recognize. Laugh with pleasure. You laugh with delight. It's Flanker, the assassin whose life you spared before you reached Torah Planning. Greetings, you declare enthusiastically. Flanker nods. He does not smile, but he seems pleased to see you. Aha, my friend and enemy. I see, like myself, you also enjoy the fun of the Festival of Thieves. And you look as hale as the moment you left me. Your journey has been uneventful so far, I trust. And how have you fared in Carré? The city is full of devils. Flanko laughs and nods. It is indeed. But at least you've not had to face the portal traps. They will take your smile and move it to your throat, as we assassins say. Portal traps? Flanker laughs. Do not fear, you have not missed out. You've only survived this far because all the traps are on the other side of the river. He pauses to glance around him, as if he was waiting for something, but if so, he does not see it. I have a few minutes, he says. Tell me of your quest. How goes it? The journey is long, but I am unbound. The journey is long. Good, he nods. I am glad you are still no coward. To be defeated is a shame, but to be defeated by a creature without a spine is a torture. How can I reach the North Gate? Then you know about the spell lines, of course. You shake your head, Flanko laughs darkly, then learn. The North Gate is wizard locked and requires a spell of 4 lines to open it. Without the lines, you will never leave this city. Who knows the lines? You ask. The first noble knows the spell, and handed 1 line each to 4 of his nobles. But the council is in turmoil, and most of the nobles are dead, or driven mad, or hounded to their graves. Can you help me? I do not know any lines myself, he says. Sadly, he nods finally, but I must be away. Perhaps I will see you again later. I'll be drinking at the Wayfarer's Rest tonight in the docks. Join me, if you will. You nod to Flink and return to the main throng of the fair. From across the field, the dancing bear seems to have run amok. Certainly, the crowd around the dwarf is shouting and fighting. The event seems to be closed. You have found 3 new clues. What? Clues? Okay. You walk to the north end of the fairground midway. The fair continues from here, and a road leads away uphill. The end of the fair, leave the fair. Musician. Well, let's go to musicians. You head over to a crowd where a crowd are watching a troupe of the dancers who spin and swirl in time to a lively tune. There was something quite hypnotic about the performance. Cast a spell. Let's play Jig. It's been a while. You cast a spell and begin to play your pipe. With the other dancers already setting a wonderful mood, the spell's effects are magnified, and soon the entire crowd is dancing and jigging with each other. It is quite a sight. 100 of Karay, strange and wonderful creatures, all waving their arms and stomping their feet. After about half an hour, the crowd grows tired and wanders off arm in arm and claw to see the other attractions at the fair. One of the musicians approaches you. Nice work, he says. Load up to make it a talented amateur for the Thieves' Dance. The crowd will think you were a stooge. The Thieves' Dance? Isn't drugs, it's just a name. He looks you over with a candy eye. Pack, sword, battle scars? You're not from Karay, are you? Just here to enjoy the fair? I'm visiting my father. Maybe you can help me. Maybe you can. The musician drops down to the dirt and puts out a hand. My name is Jira, and it's good to meet you. Shake his hand. Somebody says he helped us get enough coins to pay for our night. How can I help you? I need to find the city. I need somewhere to stay. Well, you have to be careful of inns in Karay. Some of them work on commission for the slavers, if you know what I mean. He smiles sadly, and for some reason taps his forearm as he speaks. We're staying at the Meat and Cleaver by the docks. I wouldn't recommend anywhere else. If you value your freedom, I'll see you there. He winks and heads off into the crowd. I will trust Flanker, the man whom I owe my life. Oh, who owes me his life. One moment. One moment. Alright. You cross the fairground to a wrestling ring. A ruffian inside is announcing the current challenge. People of Korea, are you ready for a fight? In the white corner we have our challenger, Anvar the Barbarian! Crowd cheers and whoops. Look over Anvar. Anvar is about half as tall as you again, with sheets of muscle on his arms and legs, but he is probably lighter than the ogre, which will mean he has less momentum. And in the black corner, brawling J-Wave Korea, the one they call Skull Splitter the Ogre, Kago of Dadule. Look over Skull Splitter. The ogre looks as thick as any ogre you might meet, but he is made of solid muscle. His arms and legs like the twisted bark of trees. Challenger, are you ready? Demanded the ruffian. Anvar nods and beats his chest. Place a bet. You find the wager man by looking for his enormous hat, to which odds and returns are pinned on bits of cloth. Feeling lucky, are you? He chuckles with evident glee. His palms are sweating, and you notice he carries slick blades inside his sleeves. Place your money on me. Ask the odds. 3-1 on the challenger, he says. 1-3 on the champion. What does that mean? For every coin you bet on the barbarian, you get 3 extra back if he wins. But for every 3 coins you bet on the ogre, you only get 1 extra back if he wins. Place a bet. You take your money from your pocket. I bet on the barbarian, you tell him. Maximum bet is 3 gold pieces, the bookie says. Good odds, though. 3 gold pieces. You hand over 3 gold pieces, and the bookkeeper makes a mark on his hat for the bet. Meanwhile, in the ring, the fight has begun. The barbarian in the white corner growls and beats his chest. The ogre raises his fist in the air and shakes them. Cast a spell. Tell? Tell. For sure. Read the barbarian's mind. You turn your attention to the barbarian. He seems quite distracted, apparently thinking about someone he left sleeping in the inn this morning. He'll never win a fight at that attitude. The ogre roars with rage and powers forward against the barbarian, landing a mighty blow. Now the ogre looks on, but then the barbarian comes back with an unexpected thump. Shout for the barbarian. You shout, finish him, to the barbarian, who bellows with anger. Growling and muttering, the ogre thunders at the barbarian, cracking his skull. Suddenly the creature is sure to win this. Barbarian staggers suddenly, but then he picks himself up once more. Cast a spell. You ready the enchantment, preparing to slow down one of the 2 combatants. Cast it on the ogre. So you cast the spell over the ogre, and the balance of the fight... Oh, I don't think I read this one. You have finished him with the barbarian, who bellows with anger. Growling and muttering, the ogre thunders the barbarian, cracking his skull. Suddenly, the creature is sure to win this. The barbarian staggers suddenly. The crowd gasps. Then he picks himself up once more. You cast the spell over the ogre, and the balance of the fight begins to change. Suddenly, the ogre looks dizzy and slow, and cannot seem to grip his opponent properly. The ogre's lip is split and is bleeding. Barbarian beats his chest and pounds the ogre heavily about the head, but the fight could still go either way. What? Cast a spell. We gotta win this, man. What is K? What is K? Kid? What's sap? Sap, you ready to spell? Cast it over the ogre. You cast the enchantment of the ogre, who begins to look thoroughly miserable. You've given Anvar a much needed boost. Anvar roars and thumps his opponent in the back. Anvar is looking good. Shout for the barbarian. You holler at the barbarian, but it's not clear that it does any good. Finally, it's all over. With a single blow, Anvar the barbarian powers forward and hurls Skullfoot over the mat. The crowd goes wild. Find the bookkeeper to collect your winnings. You got lucky, sulks the bookkeeper. He hands over 12 gold pieces inside the ring. Match with the five, raise the barbarian's fist in the air. Who challenges our champion? The prize is 10 gold pieces. Take up the challenge. I challenge him, you say. You cry. All eyes turn to look at you. The fight master beams. We have a stranger taking up the challenge. Let him through. The crowd parts and you are helped up into the ring. Under his breath, the fight master outlines the rules. A fair fight, no magic, pound your opponent until they can't stand. Ready? Look over. You look over your opponent. He is almost half as tall as you again, with muscles on his chest and arms like sculpted wax. In the black corner, the ruffian announces, is Anvar. In the white corner. The ruffian turns to you and hisses, "What should I call you?" The stranger. The stranger! Ruffian pulls a blank face. It's not very exciting, he says, but alright. To the crowd, he bellows, "Oh, you know what? I don't consider this. I don't think this counts. Give me the Analander!" Analander replies, shouting into the crowd. It's the kind of ear. They catch the name and throw it up to the sky. The Analander, they cheer. The crowd begin to furiously place bets. You can hear them discussing your relative merits. He looks feeble. Looks like a maniac to me. You ready your fists. In a fist fight, damage is lower, and power refreshes more quickly. Oh, really? Alright, let's pulverize him. The barbarian raises his fist into the air and roars. The crowd roars in return. The bell rings, and you charge forwards, bellowing, "For Analand!" Anvar charges straight back at you. You meet in a heavy collision of bodies, and everyone in the crowd is surprised when Anvar falls back onto the mat, and you emerge, still standing. Oh, man. You strike again. Moving swiftly, you aim for his midriff. The barbarian blocks your path. Blocks your blow. I'm just gonna block. Yep. You drive into a defensive crouch. Anvar is performing for the crowd, making a circuit of the ring as he comes to knock you down. You dodge the blow when he passes, and he frowns stupidly in annoyance. Bash him. Oh, fuck. Moving quickly, you go for a straight lunge for his temple. The barbarian drops into a defensive crouch, moving with more speed than you would expect. He beats his huge chest and roars. Nice. You lunge forwards again. Readying a forceful blow, you hurtle forwards. The barbarian is wide open, arms raised, and cannot defend himself. Anvar staggers, suddenly crashing the ropes at the side of the ring. A gasp goes up from the crowd. The crowd is spurring on Anvar. "Take him down!" someone calls. Block. You drop back defensively. Your suspicion is well founded. A moment later, the barbarian stomps forward with all his weight, knocking you back across the ring. Easy. Right, and then we just have to... You chase a barbarian with a passing blow. The barbarian turns away as though confused as to exactly where you are. Perhaps he cannot see past his fringe after all. Anvar grunts with frustration as he turns about twice and hits the mat. For a moment, you would think he might stay down, but shaking his stupid head, he picks himself to his feet once more. Thump. You strike again, and preparing a heavy swing, you charge for your opponent. Anvar staggers back, gasping, his face a mess of blood and bruises, summoning the last ounce of strength in your arms. You ready for a final knockout punch that sends him back across the mat and out of the ring. 2 stamina lost. Brilliant boxing! You stagger from the ring, the crowd cheering for you, and collect your winnings. Woohoo! 60 gold! I mean, sure. No, let's exit out of here. Let's go to the end of the fair. You push your way through the crowd, following the road uphill. The party is getting wilder, and you would do well to be away from here before things get out of hand. At the far edge of the fair, the litter has left a tide mark on the grass. There is one last small tent here, probably a ticket booth that has simply been ignored by the crowds of Corée. Look at the small tent. Looking more closely, you saw a sign above its door. Cabinet of Fortune. Try your luck, a prize for all. Look back. Looking back, you see what looks like one of the tents going up in flames. It must be part of the entertainment, as no one seems too concerned. In fact, a great cheer goes up as one of the strings of the flag clustered in the bonfire. Look ahead. Ahead, the road continues through empty fields and patches of rubble-strewn wasteland, but it climbs, so it must be heading for the center of Corée. Steam rises from a large building beside a fork in the road. You have time to test your luck, no doubt, if you wanted. Cabinet Fortune. Go over to the tent and push back the flap. Inside, a grubby, bearded man leaps up from where he was sitting cross-legged on the floor and comes over to pump your hand. Welcome, welcome, my friend, he exclaims somewhat over-enthusiastically. And let's see what prize you can win today. You must know this. There are no losers at Anna's Cabinet of Fortune. He gestures with one hand towards a large glass cabinet center of the tent. Look inside the cabinet. Step forward and peer through the glass. Inside there are piles of jewelry, books, gold, and other things, as well as a small, wiry creature curled up fast asleep. What is that creature? You ask. My little pet, Anna explains. He is perfectly harmless. Well, he bites, but only when you open the cabinet to feed him. How much does it cost? Aha! Honest replies, leaving a finger in the air, acting as though he is pleased that you have passed this little test. You're clearly no chicken in the springtime. The cabinet costs 2 gold pieces to play. If you don't have 2 gold pieces, then I'm afraid I don't care for you. But if you do, spend them with me. This is a tell situation, please? No. Tell. This is a scam. You put on the skull cap and quickly cast your spell. Hannah watches you with curiosity, but it is not alarmed. As you read his thoughts, you can see why. He is as honest as his name suggests, and he is not trying to trick you. The Cabinet of Fortune has some false prizes and some true ones, but it is not rigged. With the skull cap on, you catch one other strange thought in the room. Listen. You reach out for the new thoughts. The thoughts are resentful, strong, and clear. A prisoner to my idiot boy, it says. I told Sanus that any wizard would be able to protect himself. When I get out of here, I'm going to kill that miserable low rang. Noble or not, the boy too. His thoughts, evil, cold, and miserable, go round and round, but with no more clue as to where they are coming from. You remove the skull cap and the sensation fades. A prayer for luck, Anna remarks on the way of your actions. A good idea. Now will you play? Hey. You pay 2 gold pieces, and Hannah goes over to the cabinet and presses a small button on the side. It seems to operate a cantilevered spike which pokes the creature, who squeals, jumps from its perch, and begins fluttering outside the cage. Watch. You continues flapping around inside. Eventually the creature selects something from the prize pool, which it drops into the chute at the far side of the cabinet. Take my prize. You open the flap and remove a small leather pouch. You open it, it seems to be empty, but a moment later you find you are scratching your neck, behind your ears, up your arms. Please, Anna remarks. I'll have the pouch back, though, if you don't mind. He snatches it from you while saying, well back. You catch your armpit and nod at him. Then you head back. What? No, I want to play again. What? I want to play again. Resurrect the dead! Is there really... Okay, I guess. How much does it cost? That's a spell. Do it all the same way. Well, actually, we are gonna do when we play it. We are going to pay him, and then I say, "What now?" You can try to influence the choice by shouting it, and it replies. The angrier you can make it, the better the replies. Usually, I'm not sure why. As if to make the point, the creature picks up a ruby ring, then smiles, drops it, and flies up to the top of the tank. Shout something. Although it does not seem very fair, you determine to infuriate the creature as much as possible. Low rag. The creature in the tank flats around with its glowering eyes. What else could you try? Sanus. The strange mind is still flying around furiously. Eventually the creature selects something from the prize pool, which it drops into a chute at the far side of the cabinet. Taking a prize. Open the flap and remove a bracelet made of knuckle bones. You slip it under your wrist. A good prize, you nod to Hannah, who grimaces at you as you head back out of the tent. Okay, I'll count that as a rewind. I really wanted to, like, free the rat. A bracelet of bone. Okay. It seems a powerful spell. Follow the road. I actually wanted to go down there, but... wonder what all the... There's probably like a ton of potential rewards from that. This game owns. You leave the fair behind you and climb through the fields towards the outskirts of the buildings, until you reach a fork in the road. The slum districts of the Lower Korea are unlikely places to find nobles, but you might be able to learn their names or where they are hiding. In the elbow of the fork is a grand, well-kept building. Steam pumps from its roof. A creature emerges looking refreshed and flushed. It is a bathhouse! You step in the cool of the bathhouse. It is a wide building of marbled tiles and a sweet smell of pine and fresh wood. Gentle noises echo and murmur around the walls. A creature at the front desk greets you with a smile. Good afternoon, sir, it purrs. The water is cool and fresh today. A swim costs 4 gold pieces. Is it worth it? You ask. Oh, very, the creature replies with a beaming smile. The waters of Korea are known for their healing, refreshing qualities. We have a steam room and a lagoon pool. You'll be well catered for. The other guy seemed refreshed when they came out. Pay him. You hand over the 4 gold pieces, and the concierge gestures you through into the center of the bathhouse where a wide pool waits, with trees and shrubs at either side. By the pool. From across the room, steam curls from the doorway of glass-colored room. You strip off and pile your clotheslines into one corner of the room. Swim, try the steam room. Try the steam room. You enter the steam room and take a seat on one of the benches. The temperature is almost unbearable. Through the curling smoke, you see another figure in the shadows. You are not alone. Greet the other figure. Greetings, you call through the smoke. The other figure does not reply, but stands and moves away from the steam. You feel a blast of cold air as the door opens and then closes. You sit in the smoke, enjoying the steam with a... I regret my actions. That man's robbing me. Wait a while longer. You wait a little longer as the steam sinks deep into your bones and then makes your muscles relax. You feel quite wonderful for it. A second figure, who you had not noticed before, starts and leaves the steam room. You head back out of the steam room. You feel your shoulders unnodding and your body relaxing. So dive pool, you feel better for the exercise. Really much better, you collect your belongings. Check them over. You're not trusting the city passcode, but everything seems to still be in place. Please, you've headed for the exit. The creature at the front desk beams cheerfully at you. You step outside onto the street. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. I am curious what happens if... I'm curious to know what happens for, Stay quiet. What the fuck? You stay quiet, minding your own business. After a while, you hear a voice murmuring, "Our last man failed. What makes you think you can succeed? I'm smarter." It's a secret meeting. Say nothing. Stay quiet. A moment later, a second voice replies, "The idiot tried head on. You can't kill a wizard head on. You have to go in when they're asleep. You have to have tactics." Good, the first voice in the smoke agrees, and I don't want to know what your tactics are. As long as your money's good, the second voice says. Keep listening. Santos left me enough to cover all 4 jobs before he disappeared. The first speaker says, "Molas and Theta are done. The job on Shinva well." The speaker huffs into the smoke. How do you kill someone, but only enough to make them a ghost? That was a tough one. This one should be the easiest, the second speaker agrees. I'm glad to hear it, but don't forget the last man who tried. He's a sideshow attraction now, I hear. Keep listening. I won't, the second voice replies. So where's this noble's house? Red Quarter, round the back of Fireview. You can't miss it. It's the biggest place in the neighborhood. Tells them all he's a scholar, but don't be fooled. The second voice grunts in assent. Then his figure stands and leaves the room. You heard enough, and the heat is getting to be too much. You get to your feet noisily enough to make your presence clear and leave the room. You head back out of the steam room. Feel your shoulders relaxing. I'm going to keep it because I have that knowledge now, so I mean, this counts as a rewind. You dive in the pool and swim in normal, you feel better for the exercise. When you're in the pool, a figure emerges from the steamer. He comes to the stand at one end of the pool. The smart money stays quiet, he calls out. He must be speaking to you as the room is otherwise empty. I don't know what you're talking about. Sure you don't, he replies. Keep it that way. He makes his point as he steps out of the room. He kicks your pile possessions into the pool and walks away laughing. Of course, all your My beeswax is fine. I'm not even sure if I lost anything. I lost my rations. Well, let's check. Right. I got my boots. I don't think I actually lost anything, but you know, we'll go back. Yeah, I didn't actually lose anything except for my rations. Rations are not cheap, but Yeah, we're gonna stick with this. We'll try the other option. Okay. Well, we need to stay by the docks. The road twists and turns up the rise until you emerge into a wider road on the edge of dense slum. From inside, down the street to the left, you can hear the very faint sound of singing. The smell of rotting fish begins to fill the air. You must be close to the docks. Head toward the docks. You emerge from a narrow, winding alley into an open space. On the far side, the Jabaji River slides past, its surface strewn with flotsam and jetsam, dredged up from fallen parts of the city. The sails of the boats at anchor billow and snap in the breeze. You have reached the docks, the beating heart of Corée. Look around. There are 2 or 3 ships moored for the night, and the space between them and the road is filled with a huge number of stalls and little shops selling everything from fishing tackle to sailing blocks to barrels of woodlouse rum. This must be a thriving marketplace during the day. With night approaching, it is a maze of booths and cloth. A single bridge crosses the river here, operated with ropes to let the tall ships through. Right now, the bridge is up to allow ships to sail through undisturbed. Find somewhere to sleep. There are 2 inns visible from here, the Wayfarer's Rest and the Meat and Cleaver. The second is the one Jiro the musician recommended. Alright, I'm gonna sit by the river, but I don't know if this like forces me to sleep here, then I'm rewinding. I just want to check that this isn't something that like forces me into sleeping here. Korea is renowned as a city of thieves and villains, and it does not earn that reputation for nothing. A sleep outside is to invite disaster. Instead, you see yourself by the ledge of the fat slug-like Chibati River. The air is by turn fresh and stomach-turningly rains, both of which should help you stay awake through the long watches of the night. Oh. Oh, watch the we'll just... Okay, that's not really what I meant to do. And for the ducks. Did I just rewind? I hope I didn't just rewind again. We will go to the Wayfarer's Rest. We trust Flanker. He owes us his life. You make your way inside the Wayfarer's Rest. It's a lively and bustling place. The innkeeper behind the bar is trying to serve numerous creatures, all demanding ale at the same time, while around the table, salty types and buxom wenches are laughing together and singing shanties. The bar. You find your way through the creatures to the bar with a thump on the bar top, and you catch the innkeeper's attention. Look him over. The innkeeper is a surly, bald-headed man used to dealing with a rabble from the docks. He runs this place like a school teacher controlling an unruly classroom. Eyes everywhere, hands quick at collecting money, and keeping others out of the till. Greetings! You say, nice place you have here. The innkeeper nods at you. He's clearly impressed by your dress and well-educated tone. And what be your purpose in these here parts, he asks? The other creatures at the bar jostle and push each other for space. Ask the price of a room, you ask. The innkeeper holds up 4 fingers and then chatting across the bar. Buy food. Can you feed me in this hellhole? No, I don't really. Tell me the price of your ale. Holds up 1 finger. We'll buy some ale. Can you feed me in this hellhole, you ask? The innkeeper nods. Hey! To the gills, for 6 gold pieces, hearty as you like. A ruffian knocks over Doris mug of ale. The fight that breaks out is short, sharp, and ends with the heel of an axe breaking the ruffian's nose. Great cheer goes up and the innkeeper places the ale, free of charge. Come with the price of your ale, the innkeeper holds up 1 finger. I'll have a mug then, you declare, and lay down a coin. The innkeeper passes you a flagon. Here's my ale. You knock tankards with the creatures on either side of you, then drain the beer in one swoop. It is nutty and pleasant. It fills your stomach with a pleasing warm glow. Finest in Correa, the innkeeper remarks, seeing your satisfied smile. Ain't nothing that beats a good glass of Wayfarer's Ripe. You should have another, too. The second's always better. Head away from the bar. You push your way back out of the bar, of the crowd of the bar. Your eyes roam in the busy room and light on a shadowed figure in one corner. Flanker! Flanker's table, of course. You go over and sit by the assassin. There you are again, he declares with pleasure. He declares pleasure. He seems more relaxed than earlier. Perhaps he has completed whatever mission he was here to perform. But tell me, friend, do you play dice? Swindlestones? Flanker's smile broadens. I see you know it. Flanker's smile broadens. I see you know it. From a hidden pouch in his tunic, he pulls out a set of dice and pushes half of them across the table to you. Take them. Take the dice. What's the stake? Welcome, Wolf. What's the stake, you ask? Let me propose a modest wager, he replies. If you win, I will help you with your quest. But if I win, my obligation to you is at an end. And should we meet again, I will have the freedom to cleave your neck from your shoulders. Do you agree? I will say very well, but quickly, since it has been a little bit. So, Wolf, here, let me give you a quick rundown. We went to a fair. The Festival of Thieves. We found a boy who was mute and didn't talk. He had a barrel full of apples. We bought 5 apples for 1 gold. Turns out, I think they were just painted rocks. So we got scammed out of a gold. Then, we went to a tent that was supposed to be for entertainment. We went inside, and there was just a guy wearing a green wig. That's it. And then we left, and we didn't get the joke. Then, we went to like a bar, and they were offering beer for 1 gold, 1 mug, 1 gold, or you could buy 4 mugs for 6 gold. I tried to point out to them that that is a scam, right? Why would you pay 6 gold for 4 mugs when you could just buy 1 mug for 1 gold, right? It's not supposed to be that you're supposed to get like 6 mugs for 4, you know, buying in bulk is cheaper. But they kept talking around in circles, so then we just left. We got robbed on the way out, actually. I was not happy about it. There were some people, like, fighting a bear, but that situation resolved itself while we were in the bar. Then we went up, I think. And we saw a fight happening. I guess I could be doing this. We followed a shadowy figure. It was Flanker, that's the assassin from part 1, if you remember. The one whose life we spared. He told us some things. We now know how to leave the city. We need... Oh. Whoa! That was neat. But, we now know how to leave the city. And that is, we need to get to the north gate and have, like, 4 spells that the nobles of Carré know. Also, the first noble knows all of the spells. And then, we went to the next part of the fair. We saw some musicians. And we did a jig, right? We played our little flute, our magic flute. And then they were like, hey, what can we do to help you? Because everyone fucking loved it, right? So then I was like, hey, tell me where I can, like, rest tonight. And they told me to be careful while I sleep in Carré. Because some of the innkeepers are slave traders, and they'll just capture you in the middle of the night. And trade you, I guess. So they told me to go to the Meat and Cleaver. Safe place to sleep tonight. But Flanker told me to go to the Wayfarer's Rest. So I went to Wayfarer's Rest, because I trust Flanker. He owes me his life. Then we went to bare knuckle fighting, where there was an ogre and a barbarian fighting, and we wagered on it. And the barbarian was gonna... We bet on the barbarian, because it was better odds. But he was gonna lose. So we cast some spells and made him win. Then, he became the champion. So then we challenged him for the prize of 10 gold pieces. And we, of course, won, because he was gonna lose the other fight, right? Then, on our way... Oh, then I looked over everything again. Then, there was this cabinet, where it was kind of like a, you know, One of like those weird prize things where you just put in a quarter and then it slides down the bottom right. I did some rewinding here. Oh. There's an animal in there that handles the kind of random part of it. And I read its mind. Well, I read the guy's mind and I read the animal's mind. The animal is definitely a person, like turned into an animal. And he harbors some deep resentment for some people. So it made him really mad. And he gave us a bone bracelet. And we also gained some information. Then we followed the road. We went to a bathhouse. When we sat in the steam room of the bathhouse, these people talked about like their plans to take out all the nobles. And we got a ton of information. Also, it healed us a lot. And then we went to the pool and some guy dunked all of our possessions in the water and we lost our ration. But I mean, we're still rich. Oh yeah, the cabinet cost me 2, this one cost me 4. And then we headed to the docks, we're in here, we're talking to Flanker. That's like a quick little recap of everything we've done so far. Probably missed like a little bit. No problem. Very well. Roll dice. I bid 3 ones. Indeed. I'm gonna call. I don't think that there are 4 ones. Oh! Okay, roll dice again. 2 ones. I'll say 5 ones. I might have to redo the combat. He has all the information. We'll say 3 twos. Okay, okay. Evening the score. We're evening the score. 2 twos, he says. So let's say that he has 2 twos. I know that there are 4 twos. If we assume that he has 2. We'll say 4 twos. No, there's no way. There's no way. We call. There are 5 twos! I don't think you have 3 ones, dude. Okay, roll dice again. I have 3 and a 4. I have 1 3. I'm gonna say that there are 2 3s. You're gonna say that there are 2 5s? I should have said that. I'm gonna say there are 3 3s. You're gonna call, and I'm going to lose. I'm going to say that there is 1 5. You're gonna say there are 2 3s? I'm going to call. We're rewinding. Let's say that there are 3 2s. We have no 3s. Let's say that there are 3 5s. We have no 3s. You're saying you have 4 3s? We have 2 5s. He's saying that there is 1 5. I'm gonna say that there are 3... Oh, that's a 4. That's not a 5. I'm fucking dumb. I'm gonna say that there are 3 4s. I do not believe that there are 4 4s. I don't believe that there are 4 4s. Only 3. Okay, he just loses this round. No. No, 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 no. We say that we have 1 2. Now we say that there are 2 2s. Now we say that there are 3 2s. So we're convinced that he has a 4. Whew. Almost through. He says that he has a 3. We don't have any 3s. We'll say that we have 2 1s. We'll say that there are 3 2s. We have 2 3s. So I will say that I have a 3. He says that he has 1 4. I will say that I have 2 3s. I call. Okay. He says he has 1 3. Okay, well. I'm going to say that I have 2 4s. Flanker. Whew! I win, don't I? Flanker nods deeply. Cinderella preserved me. I have lost to you again. Come with me. I will take you to the council. The council? The leaders of Corée are madmen and pirates, but not fools. They might be persuaded to see the sense of your mission, he replies, especially if you have the gold to cover their pockets. Shall we go? Where is the council? Okay, this is like very scary. It's hard to find, Flanker says. It is the tallest building in Korea, but most of its height is built underground, so from the street it looks like just another dwelling place. But I know where it is. Let's go? Excellent. Flanker beams, finishes his beer, then gestures to the door. Follow me. Oh, Flanker. You follow Flanker across the top of the dock. It moves fast, like a fleeting shadow, but somehow contrives to never disappear from your sight. He does not speak, and your attempts at conversation are met with immediate silence. Finally, you arrive outside an ordinary-looking building. This is it, he declares. Wait here, and I will go inside. He disappears through the door. Look over the house. The bridge into the house into which Flanker has gone is just that. Surely. The windows are thick bottle glass, and the door is charred wood, studded with rivets and painted black. The roof, only a single story up, is overgrown with weeds. Other identical dwellings stand either side. Still nothing. The building in front of your eyes does not seem like any council chamber. Perhaps this is a trap? Look through the windows. You peer in through one of the windows, but the glass is still thick and heavily streaked on the inside bit. With candle grease, you cannot make out anything. Wait. You wait. Flanker does not reappear. Wait. Minutes pass. Wait. Time passes. In the distance, you hear the sound of cartwheels rattling down the cobbles from the deck. From the dock, they are quickly lost in the bustle of Lower Korea. Wait. Just chill. You hear the footsteps of the guard marching past. Perhaps they will come here, but then they will turn away. This place, it seems, is not even important enough to warrant a visit. Wait! Long minutes pass. Yes, it's fine! We trust Flanker! Time passes. More time passes. Minutes pass. Time passes. More time passes. Uh-oh. Knock on the door? Try the door? What do you mean ignoring his instructions? Alright, we're waiting. I don't care how long it takes. We're just gonna sit here and press this wait button that they had to put at the bottom. More time passes. Long minutes pass. Time passes. More time passes. Minutes pass. Time passes. More time passes. Long minutes pass. Time passes. More time passes. Minutes pass. Time passes. We're just clicking it. This could be the whole stream. More time passes. Long minutes pass. Time passes. We should knock on the door just to get that out of the list. You knock on the door, there's no answer inside. Wait. 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 Blanker! Dude, I got it now. Alright, let's try the door. Ignoring Flanker's instructions, you try the door. It is unlocked. You are in a wide room. Chairs line the walls, but there is no other furniture. If this is someone's house and it has been meticulously robbed. I'm not an accessory to robbery. Blank wouldn't do that to us. Then it has been meticulously robbed, but if not, you cannot see what function it does serve. But it cannot be abandoned. The fire on the hearth blazes out heat. There is no sign of flame burning, but there are no other doors. Look at the fire. You go over to the fire to warm your hands. It seems from well, but it is not hot enough. Wait, whoa. Sit down. Out from somewhere. Please, it says. Be seated. You choose a seat, which just see close to the fire and sit down. Something strange happens the moment you take your weight off your feet. It is though the far wall no longer exists. In its place is a long hallway lined with cloth banners and torches on brass poles. Two guards stand halfway down the hallway, and between them you see Flanker deep in conversation. Approach. Stand approach, the wall remains invisible, but it seems you are at the front of the queue to approach the council. You make your way into the inner hall. Flanker seems to be conferring with both the guards, but they are not moving aside and continue to block his way along the corridor. Clearly he is hoping to gain you an audience with the nobles, but he is not managing to succeed. I'm sorry, the first guard is saying. The council is in session and cannot be disturbed. Flanker is shaking his head. This is incorrect. That is incorrect, as you well know. I'm afraid the council is in session, the guard repeats louder now. Wait and watch. That's a lie, Flanker replies smoothly. The council is no more. There is no one behind that door. The first noble is behind that door. In session. Cast this. Always check the spells. We love Tell. Tell is good. It's free. Tell, you guys a spell on slipping on the skull cap and directing your inner ear towards the first guard. It seems to be quite tired and sick of guarding the council door. It seems they have been standing watch over for the last 2 months, but since the first noble is still inside, they cannot leave. Listen to the second guard. Sure to hear the second guard. He seems to be more concerned about how to spend the money he stole while doing his rounds today. Accuse the I might rewind for this. You're a thief, you tell the second guard boldly. The guard frowns at you, pass about something ready to ring. Wait a moment, the guy asks, what do you mean he's a thief? He stole money from me earlier today. Stole money from you. Reply. The second guard turns to the first, who is clearly his superior. I'm sorry, he begins, talking quickly. I'm really sorry. It was just this once. I've told you before, the first guard says coldly. When you steal from civilians, I get a cut. A moment later, the two are at blows. Flanker laughs and then moves for the door. It opens, and he goes inside, beckoning you to follow. Okay. This is the main council chamber of Corray, a wide open room with a domed roof supported by tall pillars ornately carved with monsters, serpents, and instruments of torture. In the center, 12 throne-like seats are arranged in a circle, with one on a raised dais, presumably the seat of the first noble. All are empty. A chalk circle has been drawn just inside the ring of thrones. Flanker frowns. This is not right, he muses. Walk around the chairs. One moment. Alright. You make a slow circle of the chairs, Slanker doing likewise in the other direction. No one here, he marks. No secret doors, no hidden passages. You notice that the chairs all have names in their backs. Look at the names. Throne of the first noble has the name Sanus embossed in a gold leaf on its back. The names of the others are smaller and fashioned from plain iron. Molas, Tiffin, Lorag, Shinva, Zirin, and Theta. You would seem that none of the chairs have been silent for a very long time. Examine the circle. You approach the chalk circle. It appears to be just what it seems, a circle inscribed on the stone floor of the room. The only remarkable thing about it is how perfect it is. It is a flawless curve. Rather too well drawn, Flanker says, echoing your thoughts. That makes me suspicious. Sit in the throne. Go back to the first noble's chair and lower yourself down, crossing your legs and surveying the room. Frolic looks at French forensic investigations of the chalk circle with amazement. I mean, I know what this is. And I just like don't really trust it. I think it's a portal. My only other option is leave. I see so little to be gained here, man. What do you think, Wolf? You think I walk into the circle, or do you think I leave? I'm very sure this is just a trap. Alright, we both know it's a trap, right? But did we fall for it? Or just leave? I'm leaving. There is nothing here. This has been a waste of time, you remarked to Flanker. The assassin shakes his head. Perhaps I have learned something. He points on the circle on the floor. Do you see that? I think it is a portal trap. You mentioned portal traps before. Yeah, good, Flanker replies. You will need to know about them if you are to journey through North Korea. What does the trap look like? Exactly the point, my friend. That is why the traps are so powerful. They are quite invisible. They can appear as anything. But should you stand in one, you will be transported. Transported where? You ask, looking at the chalk circle of curiosity. Wherever the setter chooses inside solid rock, high in midair. The tradition for Ray has been to dump unfortunates into the sewers. Most do not come back. How can you avoid them? If they look like anything, you ask. Flanker nods. Intelligence must be used. The traps have one flaw in the design. They require perfect symmetry to maintain their illusion. This means that, whatever form they have taken, it will always appear to be a perfect circle, just like this. With a cautious tone, he indicates the chalk ring. Flanker moves suddenly towards the door, then turns to you. But the important thing about the traps, he says, most angrily, is that they are no longer under the control of the people of Correg. Who controls them now? Your naivety is most pleasing, he answers. Whom do you think? When a people is given something of power, who takes that thing away? The nobles, of course. For many years now, every trap in Korea has been moved and placed by Sanus himself. But where are the nobles? You ask, looking around the empty room. Flanker looks as puzzled as you. I cannot believe they fell for their own trap, he says. They are fools, but not such fools as that. But here is a portal, they say Sanus entered, yet never left. He looks deeply concerned. Flanker turns about once more. I have seen enough. I must think on what we have seen. He sweeps towards the door. Leave with. Together you head out of the chamber. The guards still fighting. The wall seals up behind you. Walk away. The road climbs further, looping back on itself as it climbs. Several little alleys just veer off between homes. Buildings on us in the silver town as a spiderweb. This would be easy to lose yourself in. You pass a shop with a brass sign above its door. Metal Workers Guild. However, it seems to be closed for the night. Docks. You return to the docks. You still need to find somewhere to stay the night. I do not trust the meat and cleaver. I do not. I will sleep outside. The Korea is renowned as a city of thieves and villains, and it is honor and reputation for nothing. Sleep outside is to invite disaster. Instead, you seat yourself by the edge of the fat, slug-like Jabaji River, where the air is by turns fresh and stomach-churningly rancid, both of which should help you to stay awake through the long watches of the night. Your vigil is made worse by the aching in your stomach. Watch the river. You sit, watching the river as it creeps past. It really is the same evening. Gathering clouds and the fading light, incredible. After a while, you notice a light on the far bank. Watch the light. It is a lantern. For a while, it moves forwards and backwards and is joined by several more. Voices call to one another. They are looking for escapers, but escaping from what you cannot tell. As dawn breaks, one calls, "Vic will be pleased. A clear night tonight." The men disappear as the sun begins to rise. Your long vigil has left you tired, but still in one piece. The aching in your empty belly gnaws at you with glee. The next morning, as the sun breaks over the rooftops of the lower Korea, the city looks clean and bright, like a stone polished to a shine by a fast-flowing river. The effect lasts for a beautiful moment, then the people of Korea begin to stir, opening their windows to throw out their slop, shouting and cursing at each other as they do so. Okay, I have one option. The market traders begin to set up their stalls, fighting and threatening each other to get to the spots closest to the ships. A few sly types, probably pickpockets, begin to prowl the shadows between the stands. There are still areas of Lower Korea you have not explored, but you cannot afford to waste more time in these. No, I would love to waste more time. Wait more time in these slums. If the nobles are to be found, they will be on the other side of the river, and if they are not to be found, you must reach the gate and try to find another way through. Buy breakfast. Go on to the stalls looking for something to eat and find a stand selling bombra bread for 2 gold pieces. The smell is quite nourishing. Buy some. We have eaten. Yay. We've eaten for a measly 2 gold. One moment, I'm reading an announcement. Jesus. Okay. You buy a slice of the bread. It is pleasantly filling with a sweet, meaty texture. You thank the woman at the stall, then head over to the river to wait for the bridge to be lowered. After a while, a grizzled old man arrives and unlocks a small booth by the harbor bridge. He goes inside and closes the door behind him. Knock on the booth. Impatiently, you go over to the booth and knock firmly on the door. The old man lowers down the window and leaves out the booth. What you want? Good morning. You begin cheerfully. Ha! The man replies. Are you going to lower the bridge? You ask, still trying to be polite. The man pulls a face, curling down the corner of his mouth. It's not time yet. When is time? The man leaves in the booth to consult something. His head reappears a few months later. Tide's gotta go darn. Wait. You wait another half an hour, enjoying the morning sunlight, playing on the river. It feels like the first rest you have had since you left the outpost settlement. It's hard to imagine that had it not been for the Archmage and the Birdmen, you would never have made this journey, never explored the world outside the Shamutanti Hills. Keep waiting. You wait a little longer. Suddenly, there is a flurry of movement from inside the booth. The old man leaves the booth and goes over to a contraption on the waterfront. It begins to heave and wind an ancient winch. It seems to be quite hard work. He is trying to move the whole way to the bridge single-handedly. Help him out! You get to your feet and go over to help the man out. Get off, he growls. You'll break it. Don't help. He knows how to work it. I don't. You let the man struggle, happy to let him be stubborn. Sweat beads on his forehead, and he leaves it, and as he heaves and puffs as he works, but eventually the bridge clunks down into place. I gotta know. I gotta know what happens if we help him now. I'm too curious. We don't. I'm gonna rewind this anyway. I'm going back to what I did before. But also, let's wait. Look in the... When is time? Wait. Keep waiting. Help him out. Help him anyway. Okay, I'm going back. Just in case anything I did there matters. Buy breakfast. Buy some... Wait. Oh, I didn't wait before. I'll go back, just in case. You never know what's gonna matter. Like on the... Good morning. Are you going to lower the bridge? When is time? Wait. Also, I did want to know what look around the dock. Leave it. I try to help him out. Don't help. Let's go. Cross the bridge. You cross the bridge over the river Jabaji, which runs like a slime trail to the center of the city. You have reached the banks of Upper Korea. The buildings here are not as grand as on the south side of the river, but they are in much better condition. Fewer people live on the side away from the fields and the hills, but those that do are richer. They are also most likely more dangerous. But of course, it is on this side of the city that the North Gate stands. Move. Follow the road away from the river, towards a fork in the road. If there are any nobles still in the city port, the houses are most likely to be on this side of the river. But which way? A fork in the road. Please, choices. The early morning sun is beginning to wake the streets of Korea. A few creatures roam this city. And that. In one corner, a spring bubbles with fresh water. Drink from the fountain? You cup your hand to drink the water and drink a mouthful. It is fresh and invigorating, as though the water was enchanted. Look around, move on, ask for someone for directions. Let's ask someone for directions. You stop a passing creature. Excuse me, I need to ask you. The creature's head is bowed and it doesn't look up, but it pulls itself free and hurries away. It is too miserable to speak. It is too miserable to speak. Oh no. Oh hey Wolf, how are you doing? Wolf instantly leaves. She is too miserable to speak. Just, jeez, how can I tell by looking? Look around. Looking left, the road heads through into a residential area that seems well cared for. A short way up to the right is an open plaza. There is nothing for it. You will have to explore for yourself. We know something about the red. A man named Vic runs several businesses in the city port. Portal traps are circular. Portal traps are hard to spot, as they can be disguised as anything. However, they are always perfectly circular in shape. You know what? This is a good place to stop. No, this is a good place to stop. This is a good place to stop.